Hello everyone, Steve here again. This time I'm in Newport, Kentucky doing another skate park tour, or in this case a DIY skate park tour. I'm at the Newport DIY park or spot under the bridge, whatever you want to call it. This park got going in I think 2010, 2009 or 2010. It was the brainchild of a couple local skaters, including Gary Collins, the founder and owner of Galaxy Skate Shop. Unfortunately, Galaxy shut its doors recently. I don't know why, but definitely leaves a void here in the Cincinnati area skateboarding scene and definitely the Midwest skateboarding scene as well, because Galaxy had been around for a while. Instrument skateboards had come out of Galaxy, and then obviously a number of other cool projects, but we'll see what the future holds for this area as far as the skate scene is concerned. There's another great shop going here in the area called Blacklist, and they do some cool things as well. So I think there's always room for new things to come along and existing things to grow, and so we'll see how that growth has happened here at the Newport DIY. I'll take you through it. It's relatively small under the interstate overpass, but it's really cool, and if you're ever in the Cincinnati area, you'll definitely want to come check it out. So let's go take a look. I'm going to actually start here at the Bowl, which is a relatively newer feature. Hunger Skate Parks came and poured this amoeba bowl a couple years ago. I'm not really sure what the date was, maybe like right before the pandemic or something like that. But as you can see, this bowl is about 4 feet deep in the shallow end and then gets down into more 6 foot. And then it's got pool coping all the way around it. So for you guys who love skating pools and bowls, this one is definitely for you. You've got a lot of different interesting lines here. Obviously good drainage. There's a little bit of a death box, like pool filter feature as well. The coping's definitely been ground down quite a bit, but is still in really good shape. There's no like major chunks missing or anything like that. And so you got a lot of room here. Really, really good bowl, and definitely a nice, maybe even the key feature here at DIY. And then as you can see towards the back, definitely some room for expansion. We'll see what happens in the future. Towards the back of the bowl, you have a few other quarter pipes that have been added to just enhance the experience and create more line opportunities. You've got this 4.5 foot extension with cinder block wall, and then you've got these smaller quarter pipes that are about 3 feet tall that have metal coping, and then sometimes transition into more of a hand formed coping as well, as you can see right over there. But these just provide some different grinding options and enhance the overall experience. So for those who kind of like to do lines outside of the main bowl and then get up onto some of these other quarter pipes and then go back in, you definitely have that option. These ramps are not really, I wouldn't say that they are designed to any specific specification like a normal skate park would. It's kind of just like use the space and work stuff in based on what the highway provides, and that's one of the cool parts about DIYs, is kind of working with what you've got rather than just completely bulldozing a field and putting new stuff in. So you've got that going in here, and you obviously, you can see here there's a number of other ramps that maybe are not quite what you'd consider a quarter pipe, but provide some hips and maybe even some transfer opportunities as well. So that's kind of the bowl section, and we'll get over into the street section next. So first thing, part of the street section, you've got this bank to ledge up here towards the back. Ledge itself is kind of crumbling and probably needs some TLC, but the bank is in really good shape, kind of steep, about 3.5 or 4 feet tall or so, and the ledge itself is about 10 feet long, so it gives you lots of opportunity to get some tricks on. And then you've got a parking block quarter as well, I really like these types of quarters. I think they're a cool concept. Um, this definitely looks like it's one of the older features at the DIY. Burnside has one of these as well. That was one of the older features, and so they just provide a nice little obstacle to kind of get some slash grinds on and things like that. And while it definitely shows its age, um, it's still holding up really well, and provides a good way of turning around. And then you've got another quarter kind of hip roll-in thing. The coping here has been, sliced or cut so that you get more of that bowl feel to it as well, which is a cool thing to have. But as you can see, there's lots of line opportunities through here to kind of carve around, skip over certain obstacles or hit certain ones, and just get really creative. All right, next is the 6 or maybe even close to 7 foot back wall. This quarter pipe is absolutely huge. It's got hand formed coping at the top of it, and maybe even some pool coping down towards the end. But the interesting thing about this kind of slab that the DIY was built on was that it slopes downwards towards this quarter pipe. So you don't have to push a whole lot from over on that edge or that end to get speed to hit the quarter pipe up here. You really can carry speed throughout, and this quarter pipe is super smooth. The dimensions are amazing on it. They did a really good job pouring this one. And then as you can see, kind of more in the bowl pocket corner, you've got like another kind of bank to curb, although this is like a square metal pole that's been put in instead of your standard curb, but still get up on there and do slappy grinds and stuff like that as well. So good setup there. In the central section, you have my favorite part of this DIY, and that's this pyramid. The pyramid isn't very tall and it's super mellow, but really good setup. And then you've got kind of more of a roller type thing, kind of camel hump, boob, whatever you want to call it, along the side, and then a bump to bar. Bump to bar was clearly, it used to be a handrail that just got set into the concrete, which personally I think is rad, because on one end of it, you've got, it's set up in such a way where it's a pole jam. So really creative use of an old handrail that you'd find in the streets, incorporated into the DIY for more skating options. Then behind me, you've got a few other smaller street obstacles, like you can see here, this round flat bar that's about 8 feet long, bigger steel. I think this was probably, maybe it was welded by somebody, I don't know, but well, obviously it was welded by somebody, but I don't know if it was for the purpose of this spot or if it was just pulled from the street somewhere. But you got that to hit as you're drawing lines into the quarter, and then a few other kind of smaller street flowy obstacles, another like bank to curb type of setup here, a few different bumps, camel hump type things put throughout the park, and then some ledges as well. These ledges, one is about, I would say about 10 or 12 inches tall and 6 or 8 feet long. The other one is a little bit longer and a little bit taller, maybe more like 16 inches tall. Had more of a, like, I don't know if this was granite, maybe it is granite, granite top to one end of it, yep, and then metal on the other end. So gives you some options there. A little bit of crumbling, a little bit, but still in really good shape. No problem skating it. Super fun as well. Skates like, ledges or a manual pad. All right, then we've got another quarter pipe. This one is a 5-footer. It's got pool coping on one end, kind of a little bit of a hip action here. So you can do like some airs and transfers and things like that. I'm not doing airs, but certainly some of the rippers who are here on a regular basis and have figured it out will go and do that. Metal coping on this end of it. This whole quarter pipe here is, I would say it's about 25 feet long or so, maybe a bit longer than that. So plenty of time to do grinds or other things on there. and a good spot to start out the line, especially if you're trying to pick up speed. And then you've got a smaller bolt corner here with some hips. Got beer can coping on this end. As you can see, it kind of like little segments of the beer cans poured right into that 3-foot quarter. A bold section with a roll in, and you can see it's been scored to give you more of a cooler, like grinding sound. Then we have a super steep, like almost like vert wall style quarter. I actually think this kind of maybe even bows out to have some oververt, but yeah, this is an interesting one to just see if you can get a slash grind on it or something like that. But it is kind of a bit of a wall ride, which is cool. And lastly, you kind of have like this pit area to sit down on, and a few other quarters and banks, bank to curb type thing, just to get more lines. You're gonna have this taco shell type of quarter. And then I think the only thing left that's to cover, oh, you got a pole jam too. The only thing that's left to cover is this steeper hip that I'm sure is planned to have, be incorporated a little bit more. Maybe there's future plans for more quarters towards the back here as money gets raised and things like that. It's expensive to pour concrete, so it takes time to get the money for these types of things. And maybe even the city has plans to contribute at this point as well. But this hip or pyramid, this is more like what you find in the streets. It's steep, doesn't really have that normal skate park transition. It's really just goes straight in. So kind of a cool concept as well. Got all kinds of opportunities to do tricks over the edge, and it will definitely kick you up high if you hit it the right way. So good setup as well. Really cool thing that they've got going here.